Welcome back, everyone. We're joined by the odd one from Team Solo Mid, pulling out a 13,000 gold lead victory right now over CLG. You guys played quite well. Coming into the game, Karthus and Jace, you were giving the blue buff to Jace the entire time. What was the strategy behind this?
Well, once he got to a certain point, like he got really fed early, Jace is really, really strong at level 9 specifically. And since he was so far ahead, we could easily have infinite poke. Like they had Nidalee poke, and then we countered with Varn, so Nidalee gets their blue, we give blue to Jace, because Karthus doesn't really need it unless it's like a full-on team fight. So once Jace got the blue, the cooldown reduction, mana regeneration, he just kept shooting and getting kills.
So I want to ask you about your early game plan. The early game advantage you guys got was pretty much all from you camping Hotshot up in that top lane. And I saw you press the recall button a couple times while you're sitting in that bush. Was it the plan to stay up there, or did that just fall into place because his flash was down?
Well, the first time he had flash, but like I didn't know if he would go up for another minion. Like we were waiting on it. Like I believe he mistimed his W, so one of the range minions was actually really low. So I was like, okay, we have to go on this one, or else I'm wasting time. So you might as well take it. Turns out Jace is really good for that, and then we managed to kill full HP Cho'Gath. Second time it was something similar, but he didn't have anything up that time, so he didn't have flash. I had Ghost up because it's lower cooldown, so it was really easy games because we always saw Jarvan around bot lane because they tend to camp double-less lane.
Right on. So TSM has been really taking champion select in not a different direction, but a different way, a strategy to really throw a team completely out of their comfort zone. Were you guys able to do what you wanted in this champion select from what CLG banned against you?
It was fairly standard, yeah. We were just worried about some picks, but we got everything we wanted, what we practiced. We got Jace, we got Karthus, so we had poke, we had a decent amount of damage team fight. Like they couldn't really engage on us. Like they had Nidalee poke, that was it, but we had Sona, so we have sustain against it, so they really can't do much to us because we're just going to sustain their poke, and eventually we'll push on them and win team fights because they can't go on us because we have Karthus, Jace, Nasus, which is way superior.
I want to ask you about another play in the game where you guys scared them off of the Dragon Pit, and then you were chasing them down, but none of your team followed you. What happened there?
It was probably just miscommunication. I should have told my team we probably should chase these guys instead of the Nidalee, who I don't even know if she got hurt at all, but it was probably my fault for not telling my team to just follow up because they were all really, really low down there, and then I just chased too far because I should have said something. That was probably my fault.
So we've heard a few complaints from different members on your team about communication issues specifically. Is that still a really big problem for you guys? Have you been focusing on that? Where is your practice at?
Yeah, we're trying to focus on that a lot because last game against Marn before this one, same deal. There was a few miscommunications, and then it resulted in like deaths and stuff like that. And like this game, there was that early game stuff. Like we wanted to actually take the second dragon, but then Jay showed up top, and I was like, well, we're not gonna get this dragon after I died like twice for it. So I was like, damn. But aside from that, we just kept pushing, and then eventually we got a lead because Jace got a huge lead early game.
And how do you know from the beginning of the early game when you're kind of controlling what happens in the jungle, like you said, calling my ghost is up, his flash is probably down type of things, to when Reginald transitions? When does that usually happen for the calls?
Usually it depends. Like if the blue's up, like then we can have Jace just take it. Then we can start pushing. Like if Jace doesn't have blue, then it's really hard to just push on like say a Cho'Gath. Like say if Cho'Gath peers top, that means we can push on mid because Nidalee can't clear mid. But if Cho'Gath peers mid, that means we just disperse and like split push because Cho'Gath's really hard to get away from. I mean to push on him because he clears the wave instantly.
So we've seen a lot of different opinions now in Season 3 about what type of junglers are best in the new jungle. What do you think is the strongest sort of type of jungler coming out in Season 3?
Well, it used to be the early game jungle, but Hecarim, Vi, Xin Zhao especially really got nerfed. So now it's like moving towards scaling jungles. Like Shen and Nasus are really strong right now. Like Jarvan's still good. Like he's one of the few old guard left from the early on in Season 3 that's still very useful. But I think Nasus is just way too strong. Like you saw the game before this one and this game. Barons and Dragons are really, really easy with Nasus ult. He has Armor Shred, he has a Wither. And yeah, if you don't have cleanse, you're basically forced into cleanse essentially against Nasus, or else you're pretty much boned. So I think Nasus is really strong right now. Right now it's, so it shifted to early game jungles to more scaling jungles right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for the interview. Congrats on the win, and best of luck in continuing the 2-0 so far in Super Week. All right, everyone, now it's time for Curse versus GGU. Curse is in first place for a reason. They have yet to lose to any of the bottom 4 teams, and they're 3-0 against Good Game University and looking to sweep the season series. But standing in their way is Daydreaming and a revitalized GGU who nearly took them out last time they played.
My first game in the LCS was against Curse, and I mean, it was actually a really close game.
One more kill! Void flashes the repel, is it in range? It is there, the execute for the double kill! Daydreaming on his first day!
I know how their new support plays, Daydreaming, so I think we have a good way to tackle them, and I don't think they'll be a problem.
They always somehow like throw it, so I don't really know. Like, I think we can definitely take them out pretty easy though.
We tend to do like dumb things and just throw away our lead, and if we can stop ourselves from doing that, it'll be really easy to beat Curse, I think.
2 weeks ago, these teams were on opposite ends of the standings, but GGU is playing their best LoL of the season thanks to their new roster that made its LCS debut against Curse, as we just heard. Daydreaming and crew came out looking for a fight and almost pulled out a win in their Week 8 brawl.
I mean, there was lots of back and forth, especially the level 1 action in that match was really through the roof. Daydreaming picked up most of GGU's kills on that Elise. He was very impressive with his 6-4 and 4. Curse have struggled in their early game versus these bottom 4 teams. A lot of them have been getting early leads, but then Curse's late game always seems to save them. None of these bottom 4 teams can really finish it out against them. One of the reasons is that they keep giving Cop that MF, one of his favorite champions, and it's very easy for him to just stay on the outside and use his ultimate from the back lines to lay down that extra damage while just staying very safe. It's true to his play style.
All right, and while Cop and Curse have been in first for most of the spring split, it seems like they're not immune to the pressure of playing the pros.
I mean, the friction between St. Vicious and Elements, everyone has been talking about it. There have been the vlog fights. There's been Reddit posts. It's really out there, and even though they are in that top spot, you're right, they are not immune to the pressure either. They haven't switched anything up because they definitely are on top, but it's dangerous, especially right before Super Week where there's so much movement that could happen. To have these type of internal conflicts, it could show on the battlefield here, and we'll have to see if they're able to keep it together and continue to perform.
We'll have to see if the waters have settled. All right, let's check out this game's starting lineups. On the blue side, it's Curse. Voyboy in that top lane, St. Vicious in the jungle, Nijaki in mid, and Cop and Elements on AD and support.
And in the red corner, we have GGU. Zion Spartan is up top. Nintendude is in the jungle. Jintei at middle. Don't Mash Me on AD, and Daydreamin' supporting.
So the last time these guys met, we actually saw Voyboy bring out Aurelia because the bans were so focused and kind of switched around. So we'll see if they do that again. So GGU has really done their homework within the bans and have been pushing people out of their comfort zone.
It's very interesting between these two teams, too, because both of them actually really prioritize Elise. GGU, they've got Nintendo jungling Elise, and then they've got Daydreamin' who will support him as well. Meanwhile, on Curse, Voyboy was one of the earliest proponents of Elise. He liked her a lot in that top lane. Ever since she's got some changes to her Qs, it's been a little bit harder to use her up there, but she's still great in that meta of the 2-1 tower dives, and she's a really strong playmaker, which Voyboy always likes to see in a champion.
And as these guys get prepped for the game, it's going to be interesting. Like, Curse has really brought themselves, like we said, to the top of the charts. And with this turmoil, they're in the eyes of everyone. So they have that pressure as well. That's got to be on their back. We've heard them say it kind of when they were up and down between the first place spot. We asked Saint, we're like, so does it kind of feel all right that you guys, you know you can get back to first place, but you're now in second? And Saint's like, no, I love first. And Elements was like, there is kind of that pressure relief, so we'll see if they like first place. See if they like it.
I mean, Elements has been very vocal. He's feeling a lot of pressure right now. There's a lot of people criticizing him, and he doesn't feel like he deserves it. And you know, you're in the spotlight. These pro players, there's always going to be people looking at you and critiquing your play. So it's going to be tough, but that's the job.
We'll see if GGU can really play their game. They like the poke comp. Obviously, we've seen Nintendo Dax play, I believe, the most variety of junglers throughout the first split of the LCS here, pulling out Zed, Elise, Leona. a lot of the different types of junglers. So
He's definitely creative with his picks.
Yes, indeed.
They weren't always successful, and he decided to step away at least from the edge.
A little bit,
They're
right.
not going quite out to that Leona level. They'll bring it back in a little bit here.
Of course. And as we look to enter champion select here for Game 5 on the day, Curse versus Good Game University is into champion select.
Immediate Jace ban here. Zion Spartan actually known for playing his Jace in solo queue. Jinte, not so much. So that Jace would probably be a top lane here for GGU. Not going to happen, though. And they followed up with that Karthus ban. Karthus, not only TSM, like we keep on mentioning Reggie's Karthus, but a whole bunch of teams all over the world, too. Even in Korea and Europe, Karthus has seen a resurgence in picks.
Absolutely has. So has Twisted Fate, actually. Chat, saying earlier that he was been number 100% picked and banned in the OGN. So he's also getting no playtime here.
Yeah, no playtime for old Twisted Fate. Now they're going to take a little bit of time on their first pick. It's pretty easy to plan out all of the bans, but once you see the bans of GGU, then you have to rethink your strategy. This Renekton Misfortune combo has been really big for Curse. Like we said, that's Cop's favorite champion. If it's open, he will pick her. It fits him to a T. That's how he loves to go about it. And now we see a first pick, Nasus for Curse. We just saw the odd one up here. He was like, you saw those last two games. Nasus is kind of ridiculous right now.
And Nintendo Dex was the one to choose Nasus in their last meeting, so Curse gets that one. Saint also likes the Nasus, but he also likes the Jarvan, so I don't know we've seen Nintendo Dex play too much Jarvan, which I was going to say we'll probably see him on one of his other champions.
He does provide a whole lot of objective control. Like I said, the Dragons and the Barons just become so easy with that ultimate. His skirmishing power, not as great as a lot of other junglers. His Wither, though, is amazing late game. That scaling is very important. We do see the Elise. We're talking about how that was going to be contested between these two teams. GGU go for it with their second pick.
See what they do. Nijacky's been really liking that Kha'Zix lately as well, but we have seen Voyboy on it once. I think it was actually versus Complexity in Week 9 he did play it.
Voyboy definitely an adept Kha'Zix player as well. Voyboy always really likes assassins in the top lane, and then he builds them tanky. Like he'll take the champion.
So
he wants his champion kit to have mobility and the potential for pulling off those kills, but most of the time he'll build very tanky. It's only on really those champions like Lee Sin, where he builds it very assassinating. He says it even himself on his stream. He's like, whenever I'm on that champion, I'm going full offense and I'm just going to start playing crazy.
You know what's interesting, again, as well, Zion Spartan played Kha'Zix in their matchup the last time. So they're taking Nasus and Kha'Zix and just banning out everything they don't want him to play. So it's really kind of a TSM-esque strategy here in the picks and bans.
I like that.
Focusing out everybody.
The cheeky mouse over Brand too. Kind of a call out to TSM's last game against Curse, where TSM threw away their third ban on Brand, and they're like, whatever, we don't even care what you guys choose. And then they beat Curse with that. GGU looks like they're calling their shots early, and they say, we're going to do to you the same thing that TSM did last week.
Point for the fence. So we see Orianna coming in. It's going to be a safe Nintendo Dex as he repels in here, where they get that ball safety of the command Orianna. So we see what Elements can pick up here. He has support. Lulu coming in for himself. St. Vicious has a jungler. We're still actually looking for a possible mid or top, since Nijacky and both Voyboy play Kha'Zix.
It's a very flat, fragile lineup here from GGU so far. They do have some good disengage, some good movement and pairing skills here with the Orianna and the Janna, but they don't have a lot of meat on them right now. If that is going to be a jungle Elise, then I'd probably look for them to pick up a top laner who's a bit more beefy.
Nijacky has actually been bringing out some Morgana recently, and that would actually require some beef to go on the other side. You're going to have a few people diving into your face, ready to lock everyone up, and you need someone to be able to be there.
So this is a very interesting strategy here from Curse. Last time we just saw Complexity talk about we like to combo the Gragas with the Kha'Zix because Gragas can split everybody up, and then Kha'Zix will go for those isolation kills. Same idea actually with Morgana, because although she doesn't push people apart, if she gets in there, uses his ultimate, everyone's going to run for the hills because they don't want to get locked in on that stun. So it's the same idea where Morgana's going to force people to spread out, and then Kha'Zix goes in for those solo kills.
A good pick on Janna there. may help a bit. Obviously, the Black Shield is counters the Monsoon quite hard. But if it doesn't connect, they can save a lot of damage there on the Soul Shackle. So Daydreaming going to lock in Riven for Zion Spartan in the top lane. This is going to be, I believe, a new selection for him.
GGU staying true to their style. They don't usually pick a beefy guy, so they're all just going very offensive champions, and we've seen that really be like they live and die by this strategy. If by the mid game they are not ahead, then it's very easy to just take objective after objective against GGU and just clean them off the map. But if they are able to pull off something early game, then they try and snowball this into that late game where they have enough aura items and everyone's level 18 where they don't really need that extremely beefy guy, and they rely a lot on their skill shots and their offensive abilities to really take out the threats of the opponent before the lack of tankiness really comes into effect. You know, like to say, the best defense is a good offense. GGU really plays by that strategy.
Absolutely. So what are we looking at for Riven Kazakh's top lane? Just going to have blades in your face.
I mean, it's been so long since we've been able to just be like, oh, these two are matching up against these two are matching up against these two.
It's so true.
The Kazakhs and the Riven matchup, if it did happen, it would go to that Riven for the early game, especially if they go with Red Elixir. Riven can trade very well with Kazakhs. We've seen some people like 1G1D where they go level 1 all in with Kazakhs, though. So there are a few answers for Kazakhs. If he's able to get his isolation early against Riven, then he can have some answers. But generally, she's just got a lot of very early game advantages, especially
Riven.
once she is able to, if she's able to hit level 2 before you, then she can really just make you pay for it. We'll have to see how many Red Elixirs come out in this game because it looks like there's a few really good candidates, and we might see some level 1 action.
And we see actually two, Nintendo X rather, and both Daydreaming going down to the Explorer Ward as well as the Biscuit. A few elixirs coming out, one for each side, and that's going to be to the top laners. We do have a teleport on Voyboy, so he most likely going into that top lane. We see everybody focusing bottom here for GGU, and this will be the second time today we've seen a team kind of just throw themselves at the bottom lane. We'll see if it works for him.
Voyboy going with that teleport means that he doesn't want to all in 1v1 with Zion Spartan. Because if you go all in versus Riven and you don't have full fighting summoners, you're going to pay for it. So he's already going top right now because they are blue side, and we only have Cop here sitting in the tri-bush. It looks like GGU might try and land a cocoon and pull something off here. Nope, they have the spider to check.
Volatile Spider will pull out Cop. He actually hasn't chosen a skill yet, so he's not going to pull any crazy tricks. Not going to walk by anybody and get himself out. A minute in here, GGU is actually, they're spreading out quite a lot for the way they're checking Brush. If Zion Spartan would have found 4 people there, they would have lost somebody. They got to be careful here. Power in numbers, stick to the hit. And it looks like they're going to walk out safely.
Yeah, GGU's scaling here. Having Elise pick her Volatile Spiderling instead of her Cocoon means that they were just going for that invade to get vision. They weren't looking for the pick. They didn't think they would grab a kill. They just wanted to get that Tri-Bush Ward up, or that Wraith Ward bush up, and they were successful at that. So mission accomplished. Now they return to their very defensive positions, and they have to be careful for a late invade here. They don't have any other wards put down on the map yet here. They're feeling very confident, and it's actually going to pay off because Curse don't want to invade either.
And we haven't really compared it in a while, and Nijaki is really one of the last people to continue to buy it. The Flask versus the multiple pot in mid. How do they match up? And what are they looking for early late game kind of situation?
Well, definitely it's you open yourself up to those early levels where the other one could all in you or something like that. I mean, Orianna, not too scary very early, especially Morgana. She's fine with starting Flask because she does have that black shield you can get to get you out of any ganks that happen early. With your flash up on Morgana, you should never be first blood, as long as they don't gank you before you grab your black shield.
All right, we'll see if she can play safe. We do have the lane swap coming in here. GGU putting the AD carry and support middle as we see Jinte making his way down to the bottom lane. We'll see what these guys have moving out here. We see 1 sack from Nijaki, so he seems to be getting something situated as we see on their side. Obviously, the players can't discuss the game, so we make sure that nothing is really talked about. And I think it makes sense because, the guy fixing his computer isn't privy to what everybody else is chatting about. So it's a good rule. We get everything fixed, and everybody can get back up to the game. It is 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this one. It's going to be actually Voyboy's mouse that's kind of giving him a little problem, so we get that fixed up and back underway with Game 5 here. If you're just joining us for the North American LCS, We are in very much so to Super Week. Some amazing matches already going down so far. Complexity coming out 2-0 on the day. Team Solo Mid coming out 2 on the day so far. So definitely have some standings being changed in the end of this this week. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen.
This is Super Week. We've got 3 days of this for North America, and then there's also going to be some European games after that.
40 games over 5 days.
Action-packed.
20 in NA. 20
we
in
actually
EU.
are seeing the matchup, the Riven versus the Kazakhs, though, and it's very interesting because Voyboy, like I said, taking that teleport meaning the all-in is going to be very dangerous for him. He's probably going to be sitting back trying to CS for the first bit with his Void Spikes as we do get back into the game. So he might fall behind in CS early in this. Actually, as you can see already there, he's 6 behind right now. He missed one trying to get him with that Void Spikes, but it's fairly difficult. This is actually good for him too because since he did not place his ward yet, he doesn't want to overextend at all. And he's just fine. Zion Spartan's going to control that lane for the very beginning here. Daydream does get caught.
Taking some damage. The tower shot goes on. It's not going to be enough Ignite to kill as it's negated by the health potion. But you're going to see Nintendo coming in here for some help.
So Jackie already landed in a good binding here. St. Vicious is coming through to try and help clear out those waves. And the damage already from Curse onto this bottom turret going to hurt. Orianna not the best for 1 versus 2. She has okay AoE, which is going to need some help from this Elise, as we see Nintendo just hovering in that bottom lane.
Zion Spartan having some fun with Voidboy in the top lane, making him chug potions. And really, it is kind of a big factor that Nijacky's able to push away a 2v1 before he even hits level 3. His lane is being controlled quite well, so he probably won't have any problems. Like you said, shouldn't be ganked if he has a splash up.
Nasus is a great jungler to have on your team when it's all about the sieging, because he can just come by, throw up that Spirit Fire, and then peace back into the jungle. Okay, I'm going to go do my thing. They've got great AoE with that combo. The Tormented Soil as well as the Spirit Fire. As you can see, Jackie, of course, maxing that Tormented Soil first because he wants all that AoE damage. And meanwhile, Nintendo just waiting in the wings outside of the vision here for the bottom lane. Doesn't get anything to happen, though.
And really not taken into consideration too much is that passive of Morgana, just allowing you to spell vamp everything back up, staying so healthy in the lane, so the flash just kind of works on top of that. That's that Tormented Soil able to just suck it up from each minion on spell vamp. So looking for another Dark Binding there. Mashme getting a little bit of poke onto the turret. They're actually not even trying to get damage onto Jackie.
Yep, Saint comes by, another Spirit Fire. Hello. More time wasted by a Nintendo down in that bottom lane. He finally does leave, and he's looking for a little bit of an invade here. There's nothing on the red side of the jungle here. Now Jackie, he already has Black Shield leveled, so he won't really have to worry about a Cocoon coming out. He has quick enough reflexes that if Nintendo shoots out a Cocoon, he should be able to Black Shield before it lands, and it's not going to break it because it doesn't do damage.
Well, he's wasted quite a bit of mana here. They may not know where St. Vicious is, but it looks like they do decide to back off. Nintendo Dax just kind of throwing in the same thing as what Saint's been doing in mid lane, soaking up some XP.
Yep, Janna and Caitlyn actually really strong in the tower game here. You can see they forced Jackie back, and St. Vicious trying to stall them off now. He's great. The Wither on No Mashme as well as the Spirit Fire to clear. Oh, it doesn't quite clear out the ranged minions. It's going to give another few hits to that turret.
Missing out on some gold. Saint, he's going to have to attack somebody else's lane now. So we'll see him holding that off for Nijackie. Nijackie actually only goes back and picks up a Doran's, and we look for the Sight Stone to be created by Elements. He picks up a Ruby Crystal on the first back here from the lanes. A lot of pings going, or not a lot, but pings going down in the bottom lane saying for Dragon, making sure we have a deep ward for an engage here.
And you can see Voyboy, he did his job. He stalled out the early game there. He was just getting some CS. He's a little bit behind. But he has not gone down on potions, and he hasn't paid for the advantage that Riven has with that Ignite and with the all-in capability. Zion, as soon as he hits level 6, he actually backs to go buy. I'd like to see him go for an all-in as soon as he returns, because Riven with her ultimate and Ignite and Red Pot, plus the recent purchase, can 100%. Oh, he cancels his back. Never mind.
He did cancel it. I don't know what it would be for him right now. He's only got 1,200. Looks like he could get a few more waves to himself and get back with that BF sword if he wants to. We do see Tier being picked up by Jinte in that bottom lane, so he can keep his mana stacked up as he is just trying to fend off. Like you said, having a little bit harder of a time there than Jackie's Morgana.
Voyboy biding his time because he saw Nintendo down bottom so long. He was able to save that ward, and now it's going to be he won't have to buy another one on his way back. Zion's probably going to shove this wave and force Voyboy to stay here.
Voyboy so wants the back. This is the third or second time he's thrown on the blue pill, and he sees Zion Spartan come out of the bush. That may finally be what he needs. 50 more gold, and Zion has his BF sword, so they're looking to get out of here, both of them, quite soon.
The middle lane turret pretty much even with the bottom lane turret too. So both of these AD and support lanes doing as much work as they can, but unsuccessful. About a third left for each of them here. As soon as this Twitch gets back to lane, the bottom will take a lot more, but we have 3 people converging on the middle for GGU right now.
This is going to be scary. They have Saint there. They're really just putting back on the pressure. The traps being down. Mean Curse isn't going to do anything, so I don't know. Nintendo Dex not wasting time, but nearly reproducing anything for his team here. It looks like they may repel over and try to steal the blue out.
This is a good job by Nintendo taking advantage of the vision. The only problem with this new meta of having the jungler come help you wave clear is that the other team gets vision of your jungler, and they can try and take advantage. He does finish it off very close there because he smited a little bit early. If Saint was a little bit closer, could have taken that one back. A successful blue steal there for the spider, and now he's looking top. Voyboy, pretty squishy and out of mana.
Oh, that blue buff on Nintendo, very much so needed. Voyboy would love to have that right now. Oh, he cocoons a minion that walked right in front of him. There's the damage. Voyboy gets St. Vicious, and they kind of botched this one, forced to back out.
Yep, exactly the perfect word there. Mess that one up. Now, Don't Match Me going to finish this middle turret, though. They are able to shove that one in, and the bottom turret goes down. Few seconds later, Cop already with the BF sword actually has a big damage advantage over that Caitlyn because she went with those early attack speed from the dagger.
Zion Spartan had enough of the top lane. Finally, they've both backed. It's going to be a tier for Voyboy. Zion does get that gold for the BF sword, so like you said, maybe he can turn that back around. The Doran's coming out for Voyboy as well, so he can get himself some HP along with his fight.
That was the all-in attempt there. A little bit uncoordinated. They definitely have to work on the execution from that one. Neither of them really could take those tower hits. Like I said, this GGU team, they don't usually build tanky. They're not tanky early, especially really like the only extra HP that they have are from Fortitude elixirs, and that doesn't last very long.
We'll see what Zion Spartan can do with his newly formed items and forged in the top lane. Get a little bit of a push coming down here in mid. It looks like Don't Mash Me could start to close down, but Janna's not there yet, so it looks like he's just going to freeze that lane back in mid as we get some wards down onto the Dragon here 10 minutes into the game.
So the CS here drawn out a little bit. Zion's still pressuring and still gaining, extending that CS lead against Voyboy, trying to bully him in lane. But Voyboy being very cautious, trying to CS with those Void Spikes. The only thing is there's a little bit of an advantage for Curse since the bottom turret is down for GGU. And they do have Nasus, which is amazing dragon pressure. Nasus can easily take out that dragon if left unattended. That's why GGU are doing such a good job of keeping up those vision wards and those sight wards around dragon.
We'll see Mash Me picking up a BF sword soon. Probably he's going to go back and they'll have that damage they want for the fight. The BF sword's already in the hands of Twitch. He goes ahead and spends the 1,000 that he has to upgrade Zerk boots and grab a red elixir. So objectives are looking quite good in the eyes of Curse right now as they set up for it. The Aegis starting to be purchased up by St. Vicious.
We have Nintendo grabbing up his blue. When you have Elise with double buffs, probably going to look for another gank. Hopefully this time they'll be able to manage that tower aggro a little bit better. Repel is a great tool for that. You can get it off yourself the last second, but you still, Voyboy's an assassin. He has great movement speed, and he's known for turning around ganks into kills for himself. So you have to be careful anytime you are going to gank Voyboy because he's going to be looking for a kill when he gets 2v1. He's not trying to run away. Here is Curse trying to force that dragon I was talking about. There's the ultimate from Saint. They're going to burn this one down very quickly, and Nintendo's in the base, so that's going to be a free dragon for Curse.
I was going to say, if they can actually get a good push on top lane, Voyboy would have to can teleport down to do that, but they didn't even need Voyboy to teleport down. He still got his 1v1 going on in the top lane. 95 to 75 there, so Zion Spartan is winning in the minion score realm. But it looks like they're pretty even, not on items, but just on being able to fight each other. Like you said, that's not what Voyboy wants, though. That teleport's going to keep him more passive in lane, and GGU looks to put pressure on the bottom.
And Nasus really benefits from these stagnant early games because he's all about farming and he's all about those objectives. His great pressure right there coming to fruition, whereas Elise is all about ganking straight from level 3. She wants to make plays happen. They haven't come here yet, and he's looking again down bottom, just waiting in this bush, but still unable to get a pick yet.
See if Janna is running any more AP. That Howling Gale did quite a bit of damage there to Cop, so definitely going to see if Daydreaming comes out with his usual offensive build. He has been one of the supports that loves to do that. Athene's Unholy Grail, Fiendish Codex, into Morellum Namicon, or whatever he decides. Or Daydreaming rather, usually helping his team in that late game as the support. Still pushing in the bottom lane, Nintendo X very patient this game, and it may pay off. Oh, he misses the cocoon just to the left. Element throws himself into the fight, knowing that Saint's going to be on the outside. It's going to be a big fight here. GGU is really throwing themselves into the fire. Mashme knows he's going to go down, so he tries to make it a 1-for-1 with assists on the side, and it's going to be the Volatile Spider. Another cocoon missed by Nintendo there, forcing himself to flash out of this. Boy gets the spikes down and the slow. Will he want? And he wants to take the red buff rather. I don't know if he's going to get it. Daydreaming shields and puts himself in front to keep Nintendo Dex safe.
Jackie comes in from the side too, but it's a little bit too slow. The shockwave does not catch Boy.
Ooh, very close. They may not have wanted that reinitiation. They were still quite low, but it was a good job at getting the fight disengaged. Zion Spartan was pushing the top the whole time. They get some movement there. They also get 2 blues in a row off of Curse now.
So GGU, they're up a tower, they're up a turret, and they also get the blue steal you're talking about. Plus, they actually got the first blood out of that. Since Elements went a little too far with that all in, he wasn't aware of the counter gank by Nintendo. Don't Mash Me just went for it, and he got the first blood money. Slight win for them there.
Quite far into the game here, 13 minutes. We see some first aggression from both teams. It's going to be 1,000 gold in favor of GGU. And we're going to see where they decide to position, or where they can position after this. The wards have gone down, quite a few vision wards for Curse. 1 on the top side of the jungle and 2 on that bottom side, which they really don't need to focus on at this point as the objectives are down. Cop and St. Vicious here walking together. They may be able to find GGU Daydreaming here. Because Daydreaming get too close. He's got the slow. The Wither goes down as well. The shield may not be enough for the Expunge to finish him out. Cop picks himself up a kill.
Yeah, easy kill right there. So much slow from that Wither and that Venomous Cast stacking on top of each other. And you can see really the difference between the junglers and the CS here. St. Vicious, a whole 20 CF up on Nintendo. That's just how much time Nintendo has spent in bushes, running around the map, trying to pull off ganks that have been, for the most part, unsuccessful. They finally got something to happen down in the bottom lane with this, with St. Vicious also coming, but the discrepancy in farm is actually going to start paying a toll now. Now Nasus, his only level 1 Siphoning Strike. It's still very early in the game, and so St. Vicious only has about plus 90 damage on that Siphoning Strike. It's only 14 and a half minutes though. That's really going to become a factor much later in the game.
So Nijaki clearing out some wards so he can stay safe in that mid lane. Jinte finally returning there. He gets his own blue buff, so he's going to be able to push safely in the short lane there. St. Vicious clearing up Wraiths as everybody is just really looking to get that next fight in, but they're not ready with the items yet. They're going to go back, see how much gold we actually have on each side. 1,500 gold in the hands of Jinte, 1,000 gold for Don't Mash Me on the AD carry, and it's really the same on the other side. 1,300 for Cop, Nijaki in mid, 1,400. So the carries really looking to get those items and push their power a little bit more.
In GGU, they are still ahead in gold, and they've done a good job of patching up the weakness of that missing bottom turret. They have some wards not only at the dragon, but also inside their own blue. So they're trying to still defend the rest of their jungle, even though their turret is down. And they really need to take advantage of the fact that they do have that middle one down for Curse, because that really opens up the rest of the map for Invade's top side.
So is GGU kind of need to be pushing something they already have an advantage on now? Or are they waiting too long on something? Or are they all right for the time being?
It's really GGU needs to have the spread out fights because, like I said in the beginning, they don't build defensively early. They're all about burst damage. So they need to be the ones roaming, the ones catching out people for ganks, the ones really nabbing people off guard. In a full 5-on-5 team fight, you benefit a lot from having someone extremely tanky. Elise has an Aegis of the Legion, but her champion is not inherently tanky. She's more about avoiding damage with that repel. Whereas St. Vicious on Nasus, he's got an Aegis of the Legion, but he pops his ultimate and he gets a huge burst of HP from that, allowing him to soak up more damage.
So we see the Morellonomicon coming out here for Jinte on the side for GGU. Infinity Edges finished for both of the AD carries. And we do have quite a few pings going down. Dragon is going to be in 10 seconds. Mashme looks to cancel out a loss of a Dragon here, or maybe even push the advantage if they can get to it. He may lose his life for going for this. Comp decides not to go for the kill or any damage.
Yeah, he's got Daejun right next to him there, ready to support his buddy. Looks like everybody making a move down for the Dragon. They have it pre-pink warded. So the vision advantage is there. We've got Voidboy up top, and the teleport on cooldown for another 3 seconds.
He is definitely waiting. You can see him starting to run down already. The Dragon goes over to Nintendo. The teleport coming in for Voidboy. Nijaki quite hurt. Soul Shackle locks them up, and here comes Voidboy into the fight. The Spike's not really able to hit anybody, but Curse has already cleared them out. Voidboy is really just there to boot, and it looks like he may finalize one more kill. Gets the flash in the kill. The Ignite will be saved with the shield coming out from Lulu. Mashme could go down here. He throws a trap far to the left side. They don't like cupcakes that much, and Cop finds another one.
Oh, everybody on Curse getting out with little slivers of life right there. Jackie had not completed his Zhonya's. He had all the pieces, but he played like that thing was done.
Yeah.
He got the ultimate from Elements, and that was enough life to keep him alive for the rest of the fight. Then Voidboy chasing down there also gets below 50. Again, escaping unscathed. They do not drop anyone in that fight. They take a huge swing in power. Not only the kills, but also answer up with that middle turret, evening up the map control.
And it's really just kind of pushing more pressure onto GGU because that fight allows Nijaki now to have the Zhonyas. Their fight engagement became that much stronger, even if it wasn't from the previous fight. So GGU really has a lot to think about coming into these engagements.
Yeah, they did get that Dragon because they had those few seconds. I mean, the few seconds that were left on the cooldown of Voidboy's teleport were so essential for GGU right there. So at least they got that global gold. And the thing is, all the kills, most of the kills went to Cop there. He's at 5 kills now. Already Infinity Edge plus Zeal combo as well as a Fortitude Elixir. So the next team fight, not only are they going to have Jackie with Zhonya's, but they're going to have Cop, a really, really big presence on that back line with his spray and pray.
He jumped a whole 1,000 gold, 1 grand over Don't Mash Me. So right now he, like you said, sitting quite pretty on items. We'll see what they can do to pressure this bottom lane once again. And Cop sitting at, like you said, 5-0-1. KDA is still going through the roof. You're going to see who they give this one over to. Jinte looks like he's going to be grabbing it up once more. They don't have, well, they do have good wardage on their side, I should say. Pink wards for there, but they don't have any offensive wards. They don't know what Curse is doing until they get into their own side, until they get into GGU's side of the jungle, I should say.
GGU really hoping for this Elise jungle to pay off by catching someone on Curse who is not by Jackie with a cocoon. Because if Jackie's nearby, he's just going to land that black shield and it will foil all of their plans as Voidboy goes for a little aggression onto Zion there. Now we've got 2 people up top trying to shove that turret down.
Well, they have a lot of caution going into this as well. The ward on the bottom shows them that they are 2v1, and they are more than happy to dive this. He doesn't have enough crowd control for both of them, as tanky as they are right now. So they're going to get the poke damage in, cause him to chug down those potions. He still has the elixir, so he has that ace in his sleeve if he gets real low.
Riven scales so well with AD that the shield she gets, which Zion actually max second from Valor, is over 200. Oh, it's over 300 damage right now. So he's got a 320 damage shield on Valor every few seconds here. We even have Jinte coming up to defend it, but that's 5 members of Curse. And GGU smells that one coming. They just back off and lose their last outer turret.
Nijaki is going to put himself in the front to thwart any other engagements coming in or disengage if they need to. 30,000 gold to 29,000. GGU is sticking very close considering it's 7-1 right now at 3-2 in turrets.
It's going to be very close for GGU here.
Oh,
like I
Mashmi.
said, they need a good cocoon.
Oh, Mashmi. The cleanse goes out. Mashmi's getting so hurt. The ball goes on. It could be the save. And there's the Janna ultimate, but everything's been in defense so far. Zion Spartan going man mode into the middle of the fight. He does get Wind Slash off. A good amount of damage to the back line. But Saint and Nijak here towards the front. They finalized the kill after the Zonias. They said that was the big part of the engagement. They were able to work around it. They go 2 for 1. Not too bad.
Ooh, very close right there. It was a good idea by Zion. He went in straight to everyone, trying to get the stun off so that he could set up a perfect shockwave, and they're able to take down Jackie, but too much frontline presence here from Curse, able to scare the rest of GGU back off, and having Don't Match Me get caught out to start that fight was really, really, where the disadvantage came from. It only comes out for a 2 for 1, so not horribly painful, but they had already lost that outer turret as well.
Yeah, they have actually one true melee on the team, and they started with the one range they don't want in melee. Mashmi needs to get a little bit better on the positioning for that. Being in the jungle by himself, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. See if they can call this one back into their favor. 9-2, but like I said, the kills really aren't meaning much. GGU has been able to kind of get to the objectives, keep themselves in the game that way, and also take down a few turrets to keep that global gold up and almost in their favor. They're only down by 2K gold here at 22 minutes, and Curse looks to be dominating. But like I said, it seems even.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I mean,
it's really weird.
You can look at it two ways. Since Cop has 7 of the kills, he's
true.
really powerful. But if they catch Cop out with that cocoon, like maybe he tries to stealth in somewhere, and there's some vision for GGU, then GGU can just wipe that whole gold discrepancy off the map at the beginning. So unless Cop misplays this and gets himself into a bad situation, Curse definitely have the upper hand. But if they're able to snipe him out early, Jintei now getting caught. The shockwave does go off though.
Oh man, that expunge damage is so much.
Yeah,
I figured it was going to take him down even right through the shield. 8-0-1. Cop cannot be stopped. 23 minutes into the game at 10-2. Curse just sets themselves up for a bushwhack on GGU.
So the thing is, Cop can do that to pretty much anyone on GGU's team. That happened just to Jintei right there, but that could have easily been any one of the other members. We do see a lot of pings coming out from Saint, trying to clear out the vision around Baron, because even though it's very early in the game, he is on that Nasus, and Baron is always a threat here from Curse. It would be great for them to just bait GGU into a bad position. They could easily pick off somebody. Voyboy has his teleport up, split pushing down bottom, still has to be careful of Zion though.
Oh no, Cop catches another one, forces the flash on Daydreamin'. He is going to be forced to stay safe in the back. Cleanse looking to come up on Mashmi, Ignite on to Jintei along with his ultimate. So the summoner spells are almost ready, and Voidboy is going to look to 1v1 Spartan here possibly.
Oh, come on, do it. We could have a reverse 1v1 bottom lane where we have Voidboy and Zion here. Just some recreating a little of the action between Soaz and Wicked. Looks like they're just going to be content to farm. And Voidboy actually won't even defend that bottom turret. So that's going to be a bottom turret for GGU while Curse have control.
Mashmi caught in mid. He gets the slowdown. Can Cop get in range? He had to use the flash. The red buff wears off, and the expunge is not enough. But both flashes are used, so that plays into the next fight.
You always have to be wary of that late game twitch. He's the AD carry that can go invisible and sneak up on you. That's actually might be a good thing for GGU if they can get Cop a little overconfident and get Cop into the mindset where Cop's trying to go very deep in 1v1 people, and then GGU starts leaving vision wards around, but St. Vicious has the black shield. He wants to catch somebody, can't.
Oh, Nintendo does get caught. The black shield keeps him from getting popped up, but he eats the cupcake. Great job there from Don't Mash Me placing that earlier. Jintei taking quite a bit of damage, not in range to get hit anymore, and just that disengage of Janna right now playing huge dividends for GGU.
It seems like Curse are not coming up with anything, but they keep catching out people and getting flashes after flashes after flashes. GGU is gonna run out of flashes pretty soon here. Don't Match Me has to use his cleanse.
Really,
and they're taking a lot of pressure.
It's gonna come down to, I don't know if he'll do it now with the oracles, but it's gonna come down to elements that flash, that Lulu wild growth, throwing himself into the fray and walking right out as his team decimates the HP bars of GGU. We'll have to see if they try for that engage. They really don't have any other jump ons, but Nijaki and his flash is down, so it's gonna be a slow and roll dark binding if it's a catch.
They look like they're content to shove here. Saint actually going around the backside, taking a little free harass. Zion still pushing in that bottom lane. Voidboy can't fully engage him, But Zion is only getting a few hits off on the turret every once in a while and then pulling back out. So it's pretty even in this top and bottom siege. Curse have had enough. They're recalling. They want to group back up.
Bulwarks are finished, and we're actually getting a Sightstone on St. Vicious as well. I think this would be the first time he brings that out.
The first time for a Sightstone on the jungler for Curse, yeah. I mean, they want to keep that map pressure. It's a pretty good buy here. They've got the Oracles, and it's very cost efficient to go for one of those Sightstones if you want to keep up all the wards. Not a lot of people on Curse buying solo wards. So, you know, it's pretty good investment there, going for the long haul. Curse don't have to rush anything, so they'll definitely grab that one up.
I know we've seen some in this super late game, but coming out here 26 minutes, looks like Saint wants to buy himself up that Sightstone. 10-2 here, 39,000 to 37,000 as GGU still keeps that as it goes up. They keep that deficit at 2,000. And they're looking now to pressure the mid lane. Pink ward's going down all over the place. I believe Oracles may still be up for elements. He does have it as he sweeps over that Baron pit right now. And Daydreaming has one as well. So these guys looking to clear out and go for the Baron boogie.
Saint also picked up a Kindle gem on his last back. That is one of the best items for almost every single jungler right now that's popular, because they all scale so well with cooldown reduction. Nasus, if you think about it, that's the best possible stat that he can scale with. He doesn't get that much out of AD. There's not a lot of scaling there. And his AP, really, the Spirit Fire and the Ultimate, it doesn't help very much. The best thing is to be able to use all of these really strong abilities more and more. That's really the only thing that you can scale Wither with is cooldown reduction, so you can keep up Wither more, and you can use your Ultimate more. You just want to be able to use all your spells all the time, basically, is what we're saying about Nasus here.
We'll see if he can get to that state. Zion waiting out in the bottom lane here to see if Boy pushed any more. He finally had enough of it. He did get that Guardian Angel for himself. So we'll see how that fares for them in these game fights coming up at 28 minutes. It is going to be a long one at this point. At this point, both teams are going to at least get 2 or 3 of their spell rolls off in their kits. So it's going to be who can do it better and who has that positioning. Shockwave can really turn a fight around, but so can Soul Shackle.
Looks like we are going for a long one here, guys. Zion back to the bottom. Rest of the team up top. We've got the 4-on-4 up by there. The only thing is, Void teleport option is open. Curse doesn't have a really reliable means of snagging someone, though. They just have to hope for a Jackie binding. The Wither hasn't been quite as effective as they would want with snagging someone out and forcing a fight. So if Void comes up top and teleports and they don't get that catch, then Zion Spartan is going to wreck this bottom turret.
And Void has to be careful. Oh, man. They could go for this fight. They're trying to engage it. That one ward is really going to be the death of him. Now they finally get it. That is usually the way it goes down. But look at this 2-man sneak going on. They don't have coverage, and they have to know that Comp isn't there to start dealing the damage. But what can GGU do about it? That Baron is going to go down. Saint may not be able to initiate with his team after this. So it's going to have to be slow here for Curse if they want to get out alive. Yes, they're just going to back.
It was a really strong sort of poker mentality move there from Curse, because they had been playing that catch game for so long. That was like 5 minutes straight of poking around in your red side jungle. So there was no reason for GGU to think that Curse were actually doing the Baron. It was a very good bluff. They finally did it, pulled it off with those 2 people. Elements and Jackie doing a good job keeping the rest of GGU busy, and it's a Baron for the bottom turret. So it wasn't exactly free, but as a really good trade.
Absolutely. 20, that's not 29. 293 is how you say it. It's going to be the amount of CS for Don't Mash Me to 235. That top lane is 276 to 254, so a good discrepancy there in favor of GGU, and really could be a lot of where their gold is coming from. With that Baron, it is going to make that 2,000 gold split into a 4,000 gold split finally, but I don't think it's really going to hurt GGU that much. They're still in fighting form. They just have to find it, right? Void and both Zion Spartan have been off on the side in these fights, and it's always been a diver, Mash Me, somewhat getting caught out. Not really his fault, just positioning of the team has not been ready for these engagements.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad for GGU in the in-game. Like, they are seeing this 10-2 and this Baroned up Curse coming down middle, but they have a very, very key item here where Zion's got his Guardian Angel. So the lack of tankiness is actually made up a lot right there. Since he's got full offense, he's going to jump right into the middle of Curse, being able to put out a lot of damage, hopefully get Shockwave into a very good position for Jinte. and they can actually put out a lot of very good AoE damage, especially on a turret dive from Curse. GGU still have a pretty decent chance here. Only 5k gold behind. They still have a good pink ward here, actually, because if they do catch out Cop, like I said, that's always the best possible situation.
And as much as we say, you know, GGU is in this, the next fight could mean a huge swing. If they all 5 go down without being able to make an impact on Curse, without being able to hit those health bars, and they start losing turrets, this evenness that is still somewhat there is going to be quite lost. This minion wave coming in, Curse was able to take down mid-turret with that Baron buff without really any push off or contest from GGU. They might be able to do it here on this inhibitor.
Yeah, no amount of tankiness is going to make you tanky enough to withstand Cop right now. He's got his Last Whisper on top of the Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer combo, so what you have to rely upon are stuns on Cop. You have to keep Cop on his back foot. Keep him moving, make him use his cleanse,
right.
make him backstep, and make him use that flash so that he's not continually putting out the damage. Only problem is there's a huge, huge problem in Jackie. He's got that AoE ultimate, and he's got his Zhonya's ready.
Actually looking at this distortion boots as well to get himself into situations where he can flash into that fight and really be a disturbance, cause some chaos for Curse in the fights against GGU here. GGU doing everything they can to set up defense with cupcakes and Oriana balls just in the front of this inhibitor turret. There's another one going down. He's got the full line of cupcakes, and that's one of the hardest things to break.
Yeah, Zion looking for the 1v1 here. He wants some hope for his team. Boy not going too deep, though. Just backs right off, and he's able to keep the wave there. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, one shot at a time.
Saint went cupcake hunting. They put Black Shield on Saint, and he just walked over all 3 of them. So Mashme looking to bake some more. And really, the siege is good from both teams. We said it before. As the 1v1 may go down here, the Guardian Angel's going to give him the upper hand. If Zion Spartan can turn that off right now, I bet you they still keep going at it. Voidboy tries to get away. That flashes the wind slash. Void spikes backwards. He's going to be able to jump out of this one. Do you have the gap closer, Spartan? But it's going to be pressure on the turret. Voidboy knows he is just causing the draw here from Zion Spartan. He even has a teleport to get in with the team. It's going to be Nijackie going down there after the Zonias was used. Going to be Wild Growth onto Saint, but it's the back up and disengage after that.
Jackie sacrifices his life basically right there, zoning for the sake of the turret. Rest of Curse does take that one down, but a good shockwave doesn't let Jackie leave, and they actually pick up a kill for it. That duel down bottom, though, very impressive. Voidboy escaping with that flash, barely dodging out the wind slash from Zion Spartan.
You got a thumbs up Voidboy on that one, because there's been YouTube videos recently of him doing the same thing on Kha'Zix in First Blood, so that play really coming out, just being able to hold very sound mechanics in a tight spot, and it keeps him alive for a team push in the top lane, very hotshot GG-esque, if you will, in the way that Curse played that one out with their push going on.
Now the thing is, a free Dragon from GGU, sort of pulls them a little bit back into the game, but their base has been cracked open by Curse. They got that turret down. Now they just have to go finish off the inhibitor, but Boy's got some more action down bottom. No flash this time.
There, he is going to want to fight this one. It could get away there. There's a wind slash. It's enough to get out that time. I figured there would be a little bit of armor there to help him out, but a 2-fed Zion Spartan, 310 CS. Voidboy is kind of disgruntled about that one, but he will be back in 40 seconds. Kobe, Curse needs to make a move.
Yep. For all the vision that they wanted with that site war, the site zone on St. Vicious, they weren't able to save Voidboy. He goes down for free. That's going to be a little bit of pause here, because while Curse are ahead, they need every member. They have to have at least the threat of Voidboy teleporting in. If he's not on the map, then GGU will just take it and run with it. You saw the bonuses of your team building all offense is that you can still burst down people this late in the game, no matter who it is.
As we go ahead, look back at the inventories quite now into the late game phase here of Game 5 on the day. It's going to be 334 CS for Don't Mash Me to the 283 of Cop, but Cop's play at 8-0-1 has easily accumulated that CS in terms of gold. It's 12,500 to 13,900, so 14 grand in the hands of Cop alone, and he has the most money in the game right now.
Curse doing a good job here, just shoving the middle lane and then swinging up to the top, up to that exposed inhibitor. Baron is up in 40 seconds, so if they pre-sweep the Baron for wards right here, then they can keep GGU blind, continue to pressure on that top inhibitor, and that's far enough away from Baron that Anasis with his ultimate, followed up by that extremely powerful Twitch, could burn down Baron for another two-man Baron. But it looks like they're going to go behind the minion waves and start on this inhibitor. The rest of GGU is here to answer.
This is perfect. Spirit Fire is going to go right across GGU, and so will the spray and pray of Twitch if they can finalize it. Cop taking a bit of damage from the backside, but that is ace in the hole down, so they won't be finalizing any runaway ultimates here. It's going to have to be everything up front for GGU and their kills.
Baron's been prepped. It looks like Curse is going to play that poke game now. Jackie's got his flash up, so if they want to initiate, it is theirs for the taking.
And Cop being very patient on the backside. See Saint go ahead, trying to waste some summoners here, really trying to get in the head of GGU as they throw down the cooldowns. The minion wave coming out, so you can see them getting pressured back just a little bit, and they're doing everything they can to hold that inhibitor.
Looks like they are. Just the whole team falling back to that Baron for that Baron threat. They want to force GGU to come to them. Oracle's on Elements, means they're going to be able to clear out this ward, but he gets caught with a cocoon.
Elements does get caught. A great black shield saves him from getting popped up, but he still takes all the initial damage there. Backing out of this fight, they're going to have to be careful. That's the Oracles that could go down soon. That's the way they clear these objectives, and GGU is going to take some aggression off of this.
One man getting poked down like that means all their threat is gone. Now it's going to be a little bit more of a farm session for GGU. They get some breathing room. They're trying to catch up here. This gold lead slowly dwindling.
Looking at summoner spells on both sides. Mashmi's cleanse is up. The flash for Voyboy about to come up, probably 30-40 seconds. Everybody is completely fight ready besides that, and it's actually going to be the same thing for Zion Spartan's flash. They used that in their last 1v1.
So Zion Spartan wants to get another pick on Voyboy here. He's trying to be a little sneaky in Curse's jungle. And he wants to see which way Voyboy's going to come. He actually left the bush, but he's going to go for it here.
He saw him coming around the corner. You see the wards getting cleared on that top lane, and Zion Spartan's just going to go ahead, create pressure in the bottom, and this is really great play from Zion. GGU is one of the early game or the younger teams that are plagued by late game mistakes, and here they're keeping those out, and it looks like they go in. They are able to get the steal onto the Baron. That goes to Nintendude, still staying in the fight. The Soul Shackle's only going to lock him down, and they get out of this. The ace in the hole takes down Nijackie. They continue the fight. A great Monsoon knocks back Voyboy. They're not able to steal any more Barons, and Zion Spartan is whacking away at the bottom inhibitor turret. Voyboy had to teleport in, and they're making moves on Curse.
That was perfect for GGU. Nintendude right there going in, making Saint Vicious look silly with the smite steal, and then Jackie came out of his Zanyas at the worst possible moment right there, takes the Caitlyn ultimate for Cop against his will, and ends up going down for an even 1v1 trade, but GGU got the Baron and the inhibitor turret.
Historically, in statistics, Curse is supposed to go 5-0 this week, and GGU has different things in mind. They look to take this game, cresting 39 minutes. They've taken Baron. They just took out a few good members of Curse, and they now look to push some lanes. Zion Spartan during the whole foray in the bottom lane, pushing down the inhibitor turret.
They played the waiting game, and it just paid off huge for them right now. The question is, great, that was an amazing play. We got so much out of that, but where are we going to go moving forward? We've got an exposed inhibitor bottom. The only thing is our top is also under pressure. So we have to clear out the top minion wave first and ward up this side of the jungle so that Curse don't sneak in there. Making use of this Baron buff is going to be huge for GGU because they still have that Guardian Angel on Riven, which is going to be huge. It makes up for their lack of tankiness. Even though Nintendude is building all the tanky aura items, they don't still have a point man. Zion's going to be that one when he's got his extra life up. So he gets in there, and they get off a good shockwave. They could very well just turn this game completely around.
And it kind of goes to show they finally found the fights that have been showing that we've said it's close. This game is even. They may be down 6 or 7 kills and 2,000 to 4,000 gold, but they have what they need to get in, and it is true. All of that damage is onto Cop, like we said earlier. It's not spread out amongst Curse.
All right, so they choose to get the Dragon. That's a little bit more gold, but that's not going to change the game for them at this point. They need to get into this inhibitor and force the fight while they've got Baron up. Baron is going to be everything that GGU are putting their hopes on right now. They need that power boost, and they're just going to have to hope for something to kill Cop twice, because Cop has answered the Guardian Angel of Zion with a Guardian Angel of his own. Even after he goes down the first time, GGU still have to follow that up with more CC and immediately execute him so that he's not able to get that free spray and pray off. Waiting in the bush is not going to help. You did that by yourself, Zion, but your whole team is not going to do it. Curse are not going to step outside their base. They know you have Baron. They will not make that mistake.
Curse is in. We are acting on your next mistake mode. This is exactly where that experience of being a veteran comes into play, knowing what to do when you're in the utmost of turtle situations. They have great siege clear, so they don't have to worry about the poke coming in. They're playing this one smart. They got the blue buff on Nijaki, so they can just spit out Tormented Soil rather, keep the minions out, and they're going to look to find GGU's mistake.
I always mention it, though, at the beginning of these fights. You want to keep your eyes on Jackie when he's got his flash up, because that Morgana initiate is going to be crucial for them. Their whole team was about, you know, we need to isolate people by getting that Morgana ultimate on as many people as possible and then forcing them to spread out so that Voidboy can get to work. If they aren't able to do that, then they don't have a lot of pressure and they won't be able to keep people off of Cop. They need Voidboy to be an extreme threat. I mean, they've got 2 Guardian Angels now to answer for Zion, going a little Gambit style here. Everybody taking a bite of the cupcakes too, slowly whittling this down. But every second that they waste here is another second off of Baron buff.
And that top turret going down as GGU pressures the bottom. And, you know, to add on to the fact that those Guardian Angels are there, both of those champions can also go invisible, so they can really utilize how that Guardian Angel is used. Cop possibly saving his flash and cleanse after he comes back up to get out and cause that Guardian Angel to really be that Guardian Angel, is saving grace.
So there's a huge wave top for GGU. The moment Voidboy steps away and they get vision of this, they can go in and get a couple hits on the inhibitor, but they don't capitalize on it.
Mash me very close there. Nijaki didn't even choose to throw out a binding. It gives Voidboy a little bit of time to Void Spike out. And it looks like they start to back off as they see Voidboy has also as well.
Wasted all the time of that Baron buff off. They got a little bit more gold. They've evened up the gold lead here, but they weren't able to take any inhibitors. No crucial objectives were secured by GGU. They've evened up the playing field at least, and they'll need to purchase with those items. Now you see the Quicksilver Sash coming out from Caitlyn, so she'll be a little bit more mobile and continue to be able to put out the damage from the back line. But the Guardian Angels are really going to be the crucial items here. There's 2 extra lives for Curse, whereas there's only 1 extra live for GGU right now.
And this game, after being 4,000 difference, is now 400 different, as they actually 300 gold difference in favor of Curse. It's really not in favor of anything. They are going to have to earn this next fight. See the last Whisper now being built onto Voidboy. He's almost full items as well. Zion Spartan has that Doran's Blade still as he's working on probably some more damage. Obviously, BF Sword coming out, so he's looking to really put on the pain.
It's interesting because every time Curse wins, we always interview them and they say, yeah, our strategy is just to wait for the other team to make their mistake and then we capitalize on their mistake. GGU are really playing their own game against them. GGU are playing the waiting game as well. They capitalized on the last play and they're waiting for another one. They're just happy to sit on this Baron. There's another minute. They're warding up, and they've got control of that area right now with this Oracles. They're playing a much safer game than usual. This is not the GGU of old. This is a newer, more mature bunch of 18-year-old kids.
It's interesting to see that Voidboy can't use that teleport to split push effect. He's forced to stay with the team now, and it's going to be their initiation to come in. It really changes everything. I mean, as this late in the game, one person gets caught out and everything that happened before kind of means nothing now.
They're definitely, growing up right before our eyes here, Riv. These kids, they grow up so fast these days. All of them just waiting in that bush, trying to catch some member of Curse out. I mean, like I said, they've got the Baron prepped. It's only going to be 15 seconds now, so we're going to see another one of these epic dances around the middle of the map. There's inhibitors exposed. Baron just came up. Ooh, they kill a ward there, you know.
They are just running parallel here down the lane, down the jungle. They're going to have to meet at some point to get the wards out. It's just outside the Wraith Brush, so they have a bit of vision. Going to be cleared out with the Oracles. 45 minutes in here as we are very late into this game. GGU can't get into their base. We kind of saw this last game. The team cannot get into their base. It's kind of hard to defend your turrets, and Voidboy is just taking doing damage to that inhibitor turret. Nijaki flashes himself in. Soul Shackle doesn't lock up anybody. Oh, Shockwave gets 4 members of Curse. 3 are forced out. St. Vicious cannot get the back line to help him out here, and Zion Spartan drops Elements. Curse just found themselves on the back heel, running home.
Good job by Zion there. He flashes in to get the kill and then gets right back out. He didn't have to pop his GA. They took down one of the members of Curse that was exposed and didn't have an extra life. Great job by them. Again, capitalizing, just waiting and biding their time. Curse were really far and they got a lot of damage on that middle turret, but a player down this late in the game means that now GGU are able to force a lot of pressure onto Baron. Mashme gonna shoot it from over the wall here as Nintendo applies all of those percentage damage moves that Elise has in her kit.
We see Mashme has actually picked up the Fury boots. You can see that buff stack on him, making it look like he's going off fast when he's not even moving. Takes to the air and back to the ground. Looks like they're going to be able to drop Baron here. 46 minutes, a second Baron in a row going into GGU as Curse wants a little bit of blood here. Voidboy taking ace in the hole from the side. Steps on a trap because he just wants a cupcake.
Everybody just loving those. Don't Mash Me is King Baker so far. They capitalized on their one kill that they got. It was, you know, half of a turret, an inhibitor turret's life for a kill and a Baron right there. Again, the second time around, I'm definitely looking for GGU to actually take down an objective. That bottom inhibitor, I'm looking at you. They've really played this one so methodically, and they really have, you know, grown a lot. This is not what we've seen from them in the past. This is definitely a well thought out plan here from GGU, and if they just swing down through that dragon and then pressure bottom, they can force a fight here with this Baron buff up.
And this really is the third time Elements has bought an offensive item on support. Seeing that Daydreaming is also going damage and has every game, these guys are pulling out not all the stops, but adapting well.
Everybody on GGU, except for the jungler and support, have hit their level 18. So you saw how effective that shockwave was.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the spell penetration comboed with the massive ability power that you get from a death cap on top of Seraphs. The shockwaves from an Orianna 640 ability power with both the percentage and the flat penetrations are going to hurt everybody late game no matter what. And that is AoE. Even though Jackie did a great job of spreading everyone out, he doesn't get that same chunk of damage that Jinte does. Look at you. They're using Voidboy as bait here. They're like, oh yeah, Voidboy's doing his same old thing that he always does where he split pushes bottom, and everybody else on Curse kind of waiting around to jump on him. But Zion does not overextend this time. Really good safe play here.
They are playing it super safe. Zion Spartan didn't even leave until he could absolutely not be seen in that lane, and he's still playing it safe. He's not going through Tribush where there might be a ward he didn't see somebody just place. They're going back into their jungle and clear everything out and come into this fight 110%. Curse really, for the first time, on their heels against a GGU. And GGU, as we said in the pregame, they were able to give Curse their hardest time when they faced them with the Kale Twitch combo. They don't have that, and they're still giving Curse a real hard time.
GG only have 2 minutes left on this Baron, and they're not making their move yet. We've got Jinte in the base still. Now they look like they're finally heading to the bottom lane after they picked up the dragon and went back to buy one more time. Don't Mash Me has upgraded his Quicksilver Sash into that Mercurial Scimitar. He's got a full build right now. His item slots are completely packed with every item that he could possibly want at this point.
Zion.
Even the boots are upgraded fully.
Zion Spartan looking to go triplet Bloodthirster in his build. I'm guessing that because after the first one, I didn't know what he was going to build. I thought he just got it for damage, but 3 Bloodthirsters for Zion as he goes towards that build, the Last Whisper there, and really on top of the Guardian Angel, you're probably not going to be able to kill him with that much lifesteal.
Yeah, with the 2 Bloodthirsters plus BF Sword, he's already at a 550 damage shield on his Valor that has a 5.7 second cooldown. So talk about not having to build tanky, but still getting those tanky stats. Really showing up big there. We have an imminent fight coming. So everybody who's been waiting, time to wake up. Here we go. We've got the Baroned up GGU. We've got an inhibitor exposed, and they want to force it now. Again, Jackie is going to be the focal point for Curse. He's got his flash. He wants to initiate, spread the team out.
Ooh, there we have a Cocoon, almost the icing on the cake that they need to take down this inhibitor. Mashme trying to put some defensive traps. They do want this inhibitor, Kobe. You are so right, but they cannot get in for the poke. There's just way too much siege clear. Voidboy spikes into that tormented soil every time. It's like the Barons are just completely going to waste.
I love how, since they have Black Shield, Curse are just eating up every single cupcake Don't Mash Me can bake. Right there, Jackie grabs a couple for himself. So this late in the game is actually where the Siphoning Strike stats from Nasus come into play. He's got 243 extra damage on that. That's because he was a jungler Nasus. It's 50 minutes in, and that's not a very big number for a lane Nasus, but the jungle Nasus maxed out last, and it doesn't really stack up that quick. Still, that 250 extra is going to be doing a lot for him.
The later and later this game goes, the scarier and scarier it is to have one person on your team go down. If Curse can kill at least Nintendude, even a few of those carries on the team, Voyboy taking quite a bit of damage there, and they negate the Dark Binding. Nintendude X is just going to be able to sit safely in that crowd control. And we see Curse really on their heel right now. Damage to the inhibitor. It's going to be healed back up quite slowly, but Mashmi is getting in there for the pokes. They're working their crowd control very well for this defense and offensive play.
Nintendude might have to worry about losing his... Oh, there we go. They're going to initiate. The Baron buff is down.
Oh, so close. They wanted it. Elements took so much damage once more. They see it again. Jinte taking damage from the backside. Jackie doesn't even get to put the Zonias on. He goes down. St. Vicious taking quite a bit of damage. Tries to throw down Wither to stop it, but they get out. The Guardian Angel not even pop for Zion Spartan. They've opened up the inhibitor, Kobe.
This late in the game, the full damage builds really trump any kind of tankiness. Jackie right there. He had Zhonya's available, he had Flash available, he had Ultimate available, didn't get to use any of them. They completely took him out of this game. Now they're going to be not only rewarded with that inhibitor, but the turrets as well going down on mid.
Using the heal to keep them in the game. They may have some low mana bars, but they do have that range in the poke attack. Good damage to just be thrown out and deter them from engaging. It's not going to be something that's really going to make or break a fight right now. So GGU doing everything they can to keep Curse in a multitask situation.
And since Jackie went with the Distortion upgrade instead of the Home Guard, when he does get back up, he won't be zooming back in. I mean, he'll have his summoners available, great, but they're trapped inside their base right now. Not having Home Guards is really going to hurt some people.
So Jackie actually going down that fight without using his summoners. He kind of put his hands up when everything went in, knew he was going down. He'll save it for the next fight. But like you said, we got to be careful when he has that flash up. It was somewhat of an engagement on GGU's doorstep 5-10 minutes ago here. 8 minutes, 7 minutes away from an hour-long game of Game 5 here in Super Week. Curse versus GGU going strong. Objectives up in 30 seconds of Baron and Dragon.
This late into the game, even killing an inhibitor, not the hugest of deals. It's going to be determined by the next team fight. How many people go down? The Baron that pops up in 8 seconds is going to be where all the action is at. The side lanes will slowly be pushing, and that's why Curse have Voyboy down there. He's got his teleport up, so he's going to be trying killing off every super minion that does come down that bottom lane. But as soon as the fight breaks out, he's got to immediately teleport and get to the rest of his team, because so much damage can come out from either side that the first target will go down extremely quickly.
Curse is looking to force here, but GGU says, no, you're going to play our dance game, and we're going to make you come back to base. Curse actually listening. They may try to pinch from the backside, but they may as well go back to base. We see Voyboy coming back on the blue pill. They're going to try to get this inhibitor turret from the backside. Jackie does have that flash. He does have the soul shackle. I don't think they like the engage just yet. The teleport coming in for Voyboy, though. They're going to try to get right into this fight going in. Jackie forced the Zonias. I don't believe he's got his ultimate in yet. No, it's bounced out, actually. The damage onto Jackie. They can't get enough damage onto GGU right now. Jinte on the backside. We do see that Daydreamin' has gone down, but it's 3 for Curse on the ground right now. A triple kill for Mashmi as he just walks himself about, picks up the kills, the inhibitor turret, and the inhibitor.
The split engage from Curse did not work out at all right there. They had Voyboy coming, Home Guard from the middle, uses teleport to get over there. Jackie tried to engage from the back, and they're just going to keep on the Nexus turrets.
Cop takes 2 shots to half health. Jackie could get a good Tormented Soil here and keep them dispersed. They can't stand in that right now with the amount of engage that could possibly come from that fountain. Cop's going to be coming back out soon. Has his Home Guards on, so that's going to deter them. 1 Nexus turret, though. They may stay, Kobe.
There's 40 seconds, 30 seconds left on the death timers for everyone, and the Nexus is exposed.
GGU may be able to pick up this game against Curse, who is expected to go 5-0 this week, and GGU takes Game 5 off of Curse.
The upsets, oh, the upsets, Riv. This is going to be an extremely action-packed Super Week. North American LCS just looks like such a level playing field at this point. Top teams just dropping all over.
4,000 gold down at one point to come up, grab 2 consecutive Barons. Curse did a great job at holding off that defense, but GGU had too much pressure, they had too much position, and for them to dictate a final fight of the game against Curse by saying, go for Baron, we're going to push your base down, was absolutely out of their comfort zone, but I think they know how to do it now.
I feel like the biggest change was in GGU's late game plan. Earlier in the LCS, we never felt like there was a late game plan for them.
Yep.
But they've calmed down, and they really executed that very well. They were all very content to wait and not overextend. Play it safe. Wait for a chance. And the chance came at the Baron. That big play, you have to say, it wasn't even really a giant thing that Curse did wrong. It was just a huge play from Nintendo right there, stealing out that Baron. Then they got lucky with the Jackie execute after he came out of Zanya's, and Zion down bottom was just doing tremendous amounts of work. They put themselves in the position for a comeback, and it worked out beautifully.
Absolutely. They scrolled over the brand. They pointed to the fences.
They did.
We'll actually see how that last
Cannon.
fight went between Curse and GGU.
So this was the rear initiate. Jackie's trying to get onto No Mastery, which is a great idea. You know, he wants it. He gets it. Oh, the shockwave pulls him back. No, he was Zanyan before. That's why they didn't get off the ultimate. Their focus was still on Don't Match Me, and they took him out first, but it didn't matter because they're sandwiched even between their own team right here. Voyboy isn't able to get his work done because there was no initiate from the flash chains of the ultimate from Jackie. He couldn't back that up. He always has to use his Zanyas defensively, not really having those late game team fights come together with the positioning and the shockwaves from Jinte. He's able to pull those off from afar, so it's just so much easier for him to get his AoE damage off.
And it was really great mid-game control. We saw things like, you know, blue buffs stolen all the time for GGU. They had a great game, and after the break, we'll talk to GGU's Don't Mash Me about their huge upset, and then Dignitas tries to end their 3-game losing streak when they take on Counterlogic Gaming. We'll be right back.